The carbon cycle describes the process in which carbon atoms continually travel from the atmosphere to the earth and then back into the atmosphere. There are four types of carbon cycle. First is photosynthesis. Plants pull in carbon dioxide out of the air through photosynthesis. Even though carbon dioxide makes up less than 1% of the atmosphere, it plays a major role for living things. Second, decomposition. Decomposition is the process of breaking down plants over vast periods of time. Layers of sediment build on each other because of the pressure and heat from within the Earth's crust. This generates fossil fuels. Third is respiration. Animals rely on plants for food, energy, and oxygen. Our cells require oxygen to break down the food we consume through cellular respiration. And lastly, combustion. Our cars use the energy released by burning fossil fuels, and carbon is also a pollutant as carbon dioxide. When extract fossil fuels, combustion involves burning them to release energy. But a byproduct of combustion is that it releases carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere, and too much CO2 increases the greenhouse effect.
Next, let us learn on what is fauna. The term fauna refers to the animals that are naturally found in that place. Birds, animals, fish, insects, and other forms of fauna are some examples. As we all know, humans are one of the primary causes of environmental concerns, why animals are being harmed, as well as our atmosphere like the carbon cycle. We humans are responsible for environmental issues like pollution, habitat loss, deforestation, and desertification, which puts a negative effect on animals and fauna. Avifauna are birds of a particular region, habitat, or geological period. Macrofauna are a group of animals defined by their size. They are usually inhabitants of soft sediments, that is sands and muds, sometimes gravel. Next, we also have the cryptofauna and the physifauna. The physifauna are the fishes in a region or habitat, while the cryptofauna are the fauna that exists in protected or concealed area, like the corals.
What is pollution? It is the addition of any substance or any form of energy to the environment at a rate faster than it can be dispersed, diluted, decomposed, recycled, or stored in some harmless form. So we are breaking a dreadful record, one that has never been broken before in human history. Animals and plants are going extinct thousands of times faster than they have in the last 500 million years. If we don't act now, we will lose 67% of the currently endangered fauna, and 99.9% will be in serious danger of extinction within a century. So what are ways to protect the environment? First, you separate your waste. Don't mix your household waste, and separate everything into different containers. Recycle and reuse. To save energy, switch off lights you don't need. Turn off taps, ensure they are not dripping when you finish washing up. Fourth, use sustainable means of transport. Walk, pedal, or public transport whenever you can. Fifth, do not use single-use bags. Use cotton bags or paper bags.
Desertification refers to the land degradation resulting from climatic variations and human activities. In arid areas, water shortage affects the soil. The balance is fragile and soil is vulnerable. Human activities could lead to its slow degradation, like the use of chemical fertilizers that weakens the living organisms responsible for soil fertility. Regular plowing dries out and compacts soil. Deforestation and overgrazing strips around the ground cover, enabling erosion. Desertification affects all mankind because soil exhaustion is reducing world food production, and as consumption and the population are increasing, it becomes harder to feed billions of human beings. A possible solution is planting trees to anchor the soil, increase moisture levels, and slow down erosion. Another solution is farming without plowing. Fighting desertification means preserving soil and saving the planet.
Hi, my name is Kurt Remo Malik and I'm here to educate you about habitat loss. The greatest danger to animal survival is habitat loss owing to destruction, fragmentation, and or degradation of habitat. When an ecosystem drastically altered by human activities like agriculture, oil and gas exploration, commercial development, it may no longer able to produce the food and water to raise young species that require to live. Every day, animal has few places to call home. Habitat destruction is the most serious type of habitat loss. The classic feature of habitat destruction is a bulldozer tearing down trees. So we can fight habitat loss by protecting natural resources and learning how to use them in ways that don't necessitate habitat damage as frequently. Regulation is also critical.
Over the past years, Philippines have been experiencing floods that affected the lives of many Filipino families. These events are caused by deforestation. Deforestation is the permanent removal of trees to make space for urbanization and construction of human infrastructures. When forests are cleared and burned, stored carbon from the plant's trunks, leaves, roots, and in the soil are released to the atmosphere mainly as carbon dioxide.
Fossil fuel. So, burning fossil fuel has generated most of the energy required to propel our cars, power our businesses, and keep the lights on in our houses. So, fossil fuel is formed when any of a class of hydrocarbon containing materials of biological origin occurring with the Earth's crust that can be used as a source of energy. So, the effects of burning fossil fuels. So, burning fossil fuel can affect the environment, air quality, climatic conditions, and human health. Scientists state that the burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas for energy is the main contributor to the rapidly rising level of carbon dioxide that is driving the climate change. So, one of the major effects of burning fossil fuel is the global warming. Fossil fuel and global warming are closely associated with each other because burning fossil fuels releases an enormous amount of carbon dioxide into the air. When there's a major rise in the percentage of carbon dioxide in the air, the amount of heat captured by the carbon dioxide gas also increases.